All right, good evening, guys. Tonight is call number 18, Monday, June the 29th, 2015. The time is now a little bit past 8 p.m., and tonight is another edition of Money Mondays, guys. If you all don't know me, if this is your first time calling in, I welcome you. And my name is Sadiq Ali. I'm a speaker, trainer. I'm an author. I'm also the founder of Millionaire Manners Academy. We actually recently created a conference series as well called the Young Gentlemen's Institute, which is coming to a city near you. Right now we're scheduled to hit 6 cities this year, another 12 next year. And then after that, only the Lord knows where the conference will end up. But super excited to chat with you guys tonight and to, again, cover a new topic, something that's going to be completely informational to you, hopefully transformational, and something that, of course, is going to be motivational, something that will sort of inspire you and motivate you to do a little bit more, which is actually exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight on this call number 18, only 2 days before the end of the first half of the year. If you guys can believe it, like literally I remember the first of the year like it was yesterday. I remember because we were kind of like partying it up. Like one of my best friends got married on New Year's Day. So when I tell you it was a great way to bring in a new year, it was awesome. But literally that seemed like it was yesterday, and that was over 6 months ago, almost 7 months ago, is when that celebration was, as we rang in the new year, the brand new year of 2015. So we only have a couple days until the first half is done, and then the real game begins, right? Second half of the year, July 1st, 2015, is literally just around the corner. So the question that we want to ask ourselves is, what am I going to do differently in the second half of the year than I did the first half of the year? Because you guys know, and I mentioned this, the exact same thing last week as well, right? But no one really remembers how you start the game, especially my sports fans, right? No one remembers or really even cares how you started the game. They only care about how you finish the game, because how you end the game, right, those last couple of quarters, those determine the outcome of the game. You can pretty much fall asleep, have a terrible first half. Sometimes, look, I'm a big basketball fan, so I use a lot of NBA and basketball analogies and references, right? But in basketball, you could be down by 20 or 30 points in the first half. And if you work hard enough, if your defense is good enough, you can overcome that easily in the second half of a ball game. So the question is, if you're not down right now, your score might be tied in your game right now. But the question is, how are you going to finish off the year, third quarter and fourth quarter? And then what I will tell you is that the third quarter is even more important sometimes than the fourth quarter, because the third quarter sort of sets the tone for the second half. And that many statisticians, they'll tell you that if you win the third quarter, you're almost guaranteed to win the game. So a little bit about that, right? And the last call, right, is closely related to what we're going to talk about tonight. Last week we spoke about 4 reasons to first face, then crush, then kill, then mangle, and then bury your fear deep down, right, and to get rid of it. But the first thing you have to do is face that fear. So we're going to be sort of referencing the information that we talked about last week on tonight's call, okay? The other thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that these calls are also about expanding your own belief in yourself. So you can't ever do more than you believe you can do. See, if you believe you can do more, then you're going to do more. If you don't believe you're worthy, or you don't believe that you're strong enough or smart enough to do anything besides what it is that you're doing right now, then you'll never do more. So you have to first establish that belief. And even if you don't believe all the way, jump out there and take some action, because that will strengthen your belief. That will strengthen your belief. And that's part of what these calls are about as well, is to just give you a little bit of, again, motivation, inspiration for you to go out and try something and then discover how good you were at it to begin with. And then once you do more, success begets success. The more winning you start doing, the more natural winning becomes. The harder you're going to work, then the more you win. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of positivity, not negativity, where you say, oh, man, this is so hard. Then you do less, you lose more, then you stop trying, and then you look up and you have lost everything. And you're in a deep, dark hole and in a stinky funk that is really, really tough to break out of. So we don't ever want you to get to that point. So that's why these calls are important. So I want you guys to take some notes, share the information that you hear, then make sure that you follow along with us on all our social media, that being Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We're at Millionaire Manners on all of those. And if you guys ever need anything, reach out to me directly on my cell phone at 443-271-3604. And whatever I can do to be of service or to be of assistance, don't hesitate to let me know. So let's get into it, okay? Because we got a late start a little bit tonight, but we're still going to get through the information. Tonight's topic is 5 awesome ways for you to challenge yourself today, starting right now. Because, again, that's why the beauty of these calls is that they take place on Monday, so you have all the rest of the week to practice and implement what it is that we talk about tonight. So tonight's topic is 5 awesome ways that you can challenge yourself starting today, okay? So here's tonight's quote of the call. This is a really fun one, too. I only have one quote for you guys tonight, but it's about quality, not quantity. You guys know that. So tonight's quote of the call is as follows, quote, "A trap is only a trap if you don't know about it. If you know about it, it's called a challenge," end quote. I'm going to say that one more time. A trap is only a trap if you don't know about it. If you know about it, it's simply called a challenge. So the object of the game, guys, is for us, right, to challenge ourselves to get into those uncomfortable positions. And if we plan for it, then it becomes less of a challenge. If we psych ourselves up, right, and absolutely not a trap. See, a trap is when you just walk into something blindly, you have no idea. See, again, that's the difference between reckless and a little bit risky. See, all the best stuff happens with a little bit of risk. Think about it. You going out for that team, or for my older listeners, you going out for that promotion, or in between, you trying out for, again, a sports team or a club or anything that requires, or that, should I say, already has a little bit of uncertainty baked in, that becomes a risk. And the more that you sort of take risks, then the more accustomed you become to them, and then the bigger the payoff normally. But reckless means that you don't even think about it at all. You just jump. You just walk around that corner. You didn't peek around the corner first. You just walk right around the corner, and there's a big pothole that you fell right in and almost killed yourself. That's because you didn't pay attention. You didn't do any planning whatsoever. So that's the difference between reckless and being risky. I encourage you guys to take calculated risks. But there's never going to be a situation in life that has no risk that offers reward. Life does not work that way. For there to be any sort of reward, there has to be risk. Okay, so let's talk about it. 5 awesome ways for you to challenge yourself today and this summer and for the second half of 2015. Okay, number 1, and this is the perfect one to start with, like I said, which is directly related to last week's call about fear and facing your fear. But one way for you to challenge yourself today or this week is to pick one of those scary things and to do it every single day for a week. Pick one of those things that just scares you silly, and then make up your mind to do it for a little bit, right? Try it every day for a week. And what will happen is that something magical is going to occur. You are no longer going to be as nervous or as scared doing that item. It's going to be like magic, okay? It could be making that phone call that you've been putting off, again, for my older callers. It could be participating in that meeting, right? I know it's summer, so school is out, but you guys know what I'm talking about. When a teacher is looking to call on somebody and everybody's eyes go to the floor because they're so scared of raising their hand. But I have never heard of it, not a one time in the history of school or education, that somebody died from raising their hand, or that the teacher came over and punched the kid in the face for raising their hand, right? Or some other student walked over and hit another student for raising their hand. Maybe you might get called a name, but that still doesn't hurt you. It still doesn't kill you. So what's the worst that can happen? Just do it. Pick that one scary thing, figure out that it's not going to kill you if you try it, and do it. It is one of the most best feelings, right? It could be even participating when a group is asked a question. Again, we're looking for a volunteer to do X, Y, and Z. And you know what? You jump out there and you raise your hand. You go first, which is also part of leadership, right? Leaders go first many times. Leaders ask that question that everybody else in the room has in their mind, but they're too scared to ask. That's what leaders do, okay? And part of it is that sometimes it's scary for that leader to do it. But like I always tell you all, being a leader is not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Courage, right? Courage wouldn't exist without fear. If it wasn't scary, then it wouldn't be courageous to do it. It would just be part of life. It would just be simple. You wouldn't really get a lot of credit. Oh, he's so brave. Bravery only happens when you're scared and you do it anyway. So that's number one, guys. Pick one thing that's scary, then do it every day for a week. Number two, find a class or a hobby that you want to pursue and sign up and start learning it. So again, for my older listeners, I have a resource that I absolutely love to share with people. It's one of my favorite websites, really known to man, and they do an excellent job on this website with being able to connect you with different resources, different groups, and to allow you to be able to meet new people. The website is called meetup.com. So like meet, so MEETUP.com. It is one of the best resources in the world right now for you to be able to connect with other folks who share the same interests as you. So you can find a meetup group. Let's say you're looking to study German, for instance. You want to learn a language that they speak in Germany. So you want to go to meetup.com and search language speakers for German. And you'll find tons of groups for folks who speak German. You might want to learn jiu-jitsu. So you can go on to meetup.com and find a whole group of people that practice jiu-jitsu every morning in the park, and you can just go in and join up that group. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful, right? And you can do that for any hobby that you can think of, everything from IT, to website design, to adult puzzle group, crossword puzzles, anything that you're interested in, you can look up on meetup.com and find a group. And then for my younger listeners, for my younger callers, I recommend that you guys just do a simple search online for summer camps or youth groups in your area that have groups that are associated with the hobby that you're trying to learn. So maybe it's a basketball camp. Anybody who's listening to the call right now, let me know, because there's a free football camp coming up, a free football clinic that some of the Ravens are putting on. You can search on Facebook for all different of events. If you go to eventbrite.com, you can search for all sorts of youth-friendly events, things that will be able to expose you and teach you different things. It is an absolute wonderful thing. So we have all these resources that are at our fingertips right now in the year 2015, but we have to make sure we use them. And if we don't use them, then shame on us. We don't have any excuse to complain and say, oh, there's nothing out here for me to do. Use your resources, and I just gave you guys a couple, okay? That was number two, awesome way to help challenge yourself today, challenge yourself this summer, this week. That was number two. Number three, dedicate at least 9 minutes every single day to exercise and or some sort of physical activity. Why 9 minutes, Sadiq? Well, great question. 9 minutes is less than 10 and it's more than 5. And research shows that right around the 5 to 6 to 7 minute mark of physical activity is when your heart rate starts pumping. So once your heart rate really starts pumping, that's when you can start feeling the burn. So that's why we said 9 minutes and not just stopping as soon as your heart rate starts pumping, like right at that 5 minute mark or so. Keep going. So this could be a run around your block. This could be a couple, me personally, I have a calisthenics routine that I do in the mornings where I do push-ups, right? I try to do a couple hundred push-ups and a couple hundred crunches right in the morning, every morning, to get my juices flowing, to make sure that I'm physically fit. Because I do my work, I do my best work when I'm physically fit, when I'm not all tired and all sluggish, et cetera. Also, when I feel like I look good. And exercise will do that for you, because you'll be in the shape that you want to be, and you can look in the mirror and say, you know what, I look good. And then you can go out there and run the world and do your best work, because you're helping to build your own self-confidence, which is a beautiful thing. So dedicate at least 9 minutes every single day to physical activity. And then the worst that can happen with you setting the intention to go for 9 minutes is that you do 12 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It's cool. It's cool to do more. I've never met anybody who died. Again, I might sound morbid tonight. I keep talking about people dying from doing stuff, right? But I've never met anybody who died from exercising too much. I've never seen that happening, right? Maybe in extreme cases, if somebody's like super overweight, they might die from a heart attack, but that's only actually from them doing no exercise, not from the exercise that they're doing. All right, so if you guys see how that works, right? But step into it. And you know what? If you can only start off doing 5 minutes, it's better than 0 minutes. So that's number 3, guys. Dedicate a couple minutes every single day to physical activity or exercise. Number 4, this is a big one. Wake up early every single day. Do that for a week. And when I say early, I mean between 5 and 6 a.m. Right? Research shows that the most successful people in the world wake up early and wake up early consistently, almost every single day. And when they do wake up early, they have a routine. And what's a routine? A routine is a collection of habits, right, that are scheduled out that you do every single day. A routine is sort of a collection of habits, okay? A routine is a powerful thing. And, again, pretty much all successful people have some sort of routine, some sort of a set of rituals that they do on a set time, on a set basis with some regularity, okay? Shout out to one of our leadership ambassadors, Sammy. I think Sammy's on the line right now. He started a new morning routine, and he was so excited about it. He called me up. He told me about it. And then little did he know, he motivated me to tighten up my own morning routine, which there's a couple lessons in there. Number 1, make sure, again, you're hanging out with people and talking to people who motivate you. He didn't even know that, right? But he motivated me to keep making it a priority to wake up early and to do more every single day, right? For me to challenge myself to be more productive, right? Because there's a difference in being busy and actually getting things done. You're productive when you chop things off your to-do list that feed into your larger goals. That's how you know when you're productive, okay, versus just being busy, which is just activity versus productivity, right? But he challenged me without even knowing it to step my own game up. And I'm telling you, Sammy had an awesome routine, and at the end of the call, I'll invite Sammy to kind of share a little bit about what his routine looks like. And then the fifth piece, right? The 5th challenge that I have for everybody, right, or the 5th way, rather, for you to challenge yourself to get a little bit better today than you were yesterday, or a little bit better this week than you were last week. This is a great one. Number 5 is ask for some feedback. Go and ask somebody what they think about you. And you don't necessarily have to ask a stranger because they might not be able to give you any really usable, accurate, sort of actionable feedback. So go and ask your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your sister or your brother. Go and ask them, hey, what can I do better? Give me one thing that I can do better. And first, right, before you ask them the question, say, hey, I need a favor, but I need you to be honest. Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I need a favor, but I need you to be honest before I ask you what the favor is. But I need you to promise that you're going to be honest. And they're going to say probably 9 out of 10 times, they're going to say, okay, sure. What do you need? Hey, I need you to be honest with me and tell me one thing that I can do to get better. I need you to tell me one thing that it will be good and from your perspective if I stop doing X, Y, and Z. Can you help me out with that? Can you give me some feedback? If you have a job, go and ask your supervisor tomorrow, hey, supervisor, how am I doing? Please give me some feedback. And then after you ask for that feedback, here's the rest of it, right? Because you know there's a kicker. Here's the catch. When you ask them, be quiet and listen. Be quiet and listen. Don't interrupt. Don't try to explain. Don't try to get all defensive and, well, you know, why I do that is because, you know, when this happens, right, don't do that. Ask the question and then let that person that you trust answer the question. Right? Don't talk, just listen. And you're going to be utterly amazed at what you get as a response because you already gave the person permission to be honest with you. This is already somebody that you hopefully know, like, or trust. And hopefully they're going to give you their honest opinion about you. And then here's the rest of it. Don't just ask one person. Ask at least 2 people. And then whatever they say, compare it And if you see some similarities, right, because these two people aren't going to know that you've asked someone else the same question. Just ask them. Don't tell them that you're asking other people. Just ask them. And after you've asked the second or third person, compare what you've heard. And as soon as you see some similarities, ding, 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 newsflash, that was probably 100% accurate about you. Now you can go out and actually start to improve yourself based on some specific things that you've heard from other people. It's a beautiful thing. So those are the 5 awesome ways that I have as a suggestion for you guys to go out and challenge yourself today to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. To recap, number 1, pick something that scares you and do it every day for a week. Number 2, find a class or a hobby or some sort of new pursuit that you can go out and find more information about so you can get better. That's a challenge. Number 3, dedicate at least 9 minutes every single day to exercise or physical activity. Number 4, wake up early every day for a week. Set your alarm and then set 2 alarms. That's what my mom told me she had to do, right? Because snooze is too easy. But when you set a new alarm, that beats the snooze button, right? Or that beats the reset button. Because if you guys are like me, sometimes you don't even get a chance to hit the snooze. You just turn the alarm off completely. And now guess what? You got no backup plan, and then you might oversleep. So set not 1 alarm, but 2 alarms, 2 separate alarms. 1 for 5 a.m., maybe for 1 for 5:15. So that way you're guaranteed to be up by 5:30. Number 5, ask for some feedback. Go to someone that you know, like, or trust and say, hey, give me a suggestion from your opinion how I can improve, and then be quiet and listen. So that's all the information I have for you guys for tonight. If there's any questions or comments or suggestions, *6 to unmute yourself. And Sammy, if you're there, I'd love for you to share your routine, your new morning routine, because I'm telling you, man, I don't know if I expressed it to you when you shared it with me, Ben, but I was super impressed with your new routine. Sammy, if you're still there, I'd love for you to share it.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Yeah, Sammy, share with everybody, man, your new morning routine, man, and what sort of inspires you to do that.
All right, cool, man. So basically, man, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I came across a guy who talked about how successful people all have a morning routine that they do, and don't just choosing 1 hour to for professional, but for just personal development will greatly enhance your success. So this is my morning routine that I came up with. So I wake up, and you mentioned the alarm thing. So I'm trying to train my body to wake up on the first alarm. So as soon as the alarm hits at 5 a.m., I immediately spring out of bed, right? So I spring out of bed. So that's the first thing. And then I just use 5 minutes for meditation / prayer. So I use the quiet time to pray, and then the next 5 minutes I do affirmations. So I have printed out some affirmations that I use just to get me through the day. So affirmations that say, hey, I'm gonna complete all the tasks that I had today. I'm a man of integrity. Things like that to get myself feeling good about myself. And I have to read it with conviction, right? So I read the affirmation. Then after that, I go brush my teeth, drink some water, so I can get the blood flowing. Then I use an hour to study for my CPA. So for those of you who don't know, I'm studying for my CPA right now. So I use an hour in the morning to study for my CPA, right? And right now it's about that's from 5:25 to 6:25. So I do it for an hour. Right after that, I put on my shoes and I go out for a run. So I run 2 miles every day, and that takes me about 20 to 30 minutes. Then I come back in, and it's about 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I get ready for work, and I'll be at work at 8 o'clock. So that's pretty much my routine that I do. I've been doing it for about now 8 days. This is my 8th day doing it. I started it last month. So it's been good, man. I've been feeling good. And I told Sadiq, ever since I've been doing that, for those of you who work, it's kind of like a gift and a curse if you live really close to work, because you're always like, hey, I got time. And the result of that, I've been late to work a couple of times. But since I started this routine, I've been coming in very early to work, and even my coworkers have taken notice of it. Like, hey, you've been coming in a little early. So that's some of the benefits that you can do that comes with this new morning routine that I've adopted.
Sammy, that is awesome, man. I'm even going to ask you as a personal favor, man, for you to even type that up and text it to me, because I think that is just a wonderful day, or a wonderful way to start your day. And like I said, man, that's one of the signs, of you trying to improve yourself all the time, is that you get inspiration from everywhere. And anything that I can use to get better, me personally, I'm all for it, man. So, Sammy, I really, really appreciate you sharing that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry about that. But one of the other things that I do while I'm doing my morning routine is also journaling. So I do two parts of journaling. I do visualization, which I kind of like, write out the thing that I want to see, and maybe I might draw a picture in there, and then I just do a journal. So I just talk about my day before, what I want to accomplish today, and things of that nature. So I got journaling from Sadiq. Sadiq told me about journaling and how the power of that. So I'm glad to implement that in my routine as well.
That is awesome, bro. That is awesome. Yeah, please send that to me, bro. I mean that. Please send that to me.
I will.
All right. Anybody else have anything to share or to add? Star six.
This is Tanya Powell.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi, and I'm not a youth. I work with youth, but I just wanted to say thank you for the call, and that all of the practical information and steps that you've given, even though I'm not a youth, I just want to say that it's not about the age, but it's about the information.
For sure.
So no matter what your age range is or what area or realm of life you're in right now, the 5 steps that you gave are just successful tips, really, and practices that even some of them I know I need to step up and sharpen myself in. Some I've slacked off a little bit on. So I just thank you for the call. I thank you for what you're doing. And I also thank Sammy for your growth and your successes. That's a great way to start your day. And as you were sharing, Sammy, I was thinking about how many adults will have a much more productive day if they were to just take your strategies and implement that, just starting off for a week.
Very true. Very true.
So very empowering, very impactful, and what I like most is that they're practical steps that everyone can do. You just have to decide to do them. So thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to listen in, and I will definitely have youth on the call next week.
Awesome. We really, really appreciate that. All right, guys, is there anybody else? If not, we will sign off and talk to everybody next week. Sammy, I'm waiting for that text, too. I'll talk to you guys next week. Everybody have an awesome week.
I got you.